You need plumbing work done. You need electrical work done. Well, in California, you need minor plumbing, minor electrical. Don't sue me, bro. What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Bootstrap Handyman. We're on a job right now, but I thought I'd take a little bit of a break to share some insights on how to upsell and get more jobs when you're currently on a job, especially when you're first starting off. It was some things I learned from my door knocking days and my young sales days. I kind of applied early on in my handyman business, and it helped me not waste time in an area and get a lot more jobs. So stay tuned. I think you'll like it. All right, guys, I'm gonna keep it quick. So there's the obvious. Right when you walk through the door, you're building rapport with your customer, you're looking around the property, you're complimenting things, and also there's some common sense, right? If you, on the personality of your customer, right? If they're serious, busy, straight to business, you kind of got to go off that. You don't want to be talking their ear off if they got to hop back on a call, right? So you have to have some ability to kind of feel your way in the personality of your customer. But once you got that figured out and you're working on the job, there's some ways not only to upcharge, but possibly get some more work with that customer or in the neighborhood you are. And where this is important is when you're starting off and you don't have a lot of jobs. Say you got 1 or 2 jobs in the day and you have a big window before your next job. This really did help me out when I started off my business. And what I would do is I would do it on, Thumbtack. Thumbtack was one of the apps I first used when I first started my business. So say I had a call for a garbage disposal repair. There's the obvious, right? You go in there, you see a light out, the faucet's all wrecked. If they had the old zinc plumbing to put the plastic or ABS in there, the obvious too, right? But also a lot of times when you use like Thumbtack, I imagine it would be the same if you found someone on Facebook next door. It's kind of like a best way to say it is like a filling out process. If you don't have your reviews, if you don't have your social media, if you're not out there where people can get a feel, and if you're not referred, they're kind of a little bit of nervousness about bringing on a handyman. And I imagine you're kind of new too, so you have a little bit of nervousness with your customers. That's okay. Bootstrap's going to talk you through it. All right, so during this filling out period, it's very important for you to not only fix it, but to add value when you're in there. Good conversation, clean work area, look organized. When I first started doing my garbage disposal repairs, I made it a habit. And this is what I learned when I was a station engineer and we worked in like hotels and resorts. You know, we had to work with high-end guests and tenants, and we had to be top of our game. Cleanliness, not making dust, leave the area better than we found it. Basics, right? So when I used to do my garbage disposal repairs, I would have a cloth. I would lay out and I would lay all my tools organized, like my screwdriver, my socket drivers, my wire strippers, and I'd have everything like laid out very organized and clean. I had my little bucket underneath. You don't think the customers are paying attention, but they will notice those little things compared to a guy that has his tool bag opened up across the floor, wire nuts rolling. So that is really important. And during the cleaning process is that when you take the bracket out of the sink, you're in there, you're scraping off all the old stuff, you're taking a towel, you're cleaning it. You're taking your time to add value. And if you have the customer in there, you want to be conversating with them, you know, getting to know them. Some of the lines I like to use when I go in there is like, especially kind of coming out of COVID, I say, hey, you're back in the office now, or they got you remote. And then, oh yeah, you know, whoop, whoop, whoop. I got my, I'm in like 2 days, off 3 days, something like that. I was like, oh, that's good. Is the commute half decent at least, or you got a bad commute? And they're like, oh no, my commute's horrible. Crack a joke, like things like those, just like normal conversation. You don't have to be like pitching them like you're one of these like Wolf of Wall Street guys. It's just, you know, good conversation, building rapport with them. Another good one is if you notice them kind of like, they'll come in and hover and they'll kind of like look under the sink, see what you're doing. Kind of move over. Oh, here, let me show you what I'm doing. And I said, oh, this is why I do this. Like I'm taking this bracket out, but I'm not just taking this bracket out. I'm cleaning all the old putty because new putty and old putty don't bond well. And that's going to cause a leak. So what I do is I clean from the bottom. I clean from the top. Here, check it out. And don't worry. I have a towel down. I have a little bucket to catch everything. Your thing's going to look better than you found it, right? Little things like that. Just short conversations, but you have to notice the cues from the customer. And this, I promise you, is important for when you get to finishing up the job to try to get more work or more referrals. I'll show you here. All right, so now you've closed out the job, you've talked to them, you've got paid, you've built the rapport with them. What you're doing next is very important. So tailor this to your skill set. Don't throw a wide net if you can't fix all these things. If you're good at like toilet repair, say, hey, also we do toilet repair, your commode's working okay. If you're good at fence repair, pitch your fence repair. Oh, hey, I got some time. I can walk down your fence line, see if you need any pickets reattached, if you need some extra work done. I got some time before my next job. I would love to do that for you. But pitch what you're good at. If you're not good at everything yet and you don't have the confidence or the tools in your tool bag, work with what you got. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You have a good skill set, you're confident with it, you got the tools to do the job. That's what you need to focus on, my friends. All right, guys, so, I'll try to make it quick. I hope the little explanations help. It's really not that hard. You just have to, when you're running your business, don't think like an employee, because you're not in a cookie cutter environment. You're creating the environment you want to work in, but you want to be successful at what you do. So come at it as a problem solver, that I have a service, I can help you. I might be new at this. This is my first chance in your door, but I'm going to take care of you and I'm going to show you why I'm the guy. Like, have that mentality. So when you're in there, you're working. And then, like I said, upsell the current customer you're at with your services that you're good at. If there's anything you notice that you can take care of there quick for them, that's good. If not, build the relationship so they can use you down the road on the weekend for a honey to-dos list. If you're around Thanksgiving, Christmas, a holiday where people are possibly coming over or they're going on vacation, let them know you're that guy they can count on to get their house ready for company or to get their house safe for a vacation. Stuff like that. Stuff people don't think about normally. Become the guy that they rely on to get those things fixed. And if you can't upsell the customer, ask about the community, ask about the neighborhood. Don't make your communication with them annoying like a salesman. Have it flow natural. Be a talker from the time you walk in their door to the time you go out. Nothing's weirder where you say, hi, I'm here to fix your garbage disposal. Where is it? Okay, it's all done. Are you happy with the work? Payment. And then you're at the door holding them with no personality. Anyone you know want work? Well, no, what, do you want me to do work here? Okay, do you know anyone? What about your friends and family? Can you call them and see if they... Don't be weird, man. Don't be weird. It has to flow. You don't have to be the most talkative, but it just has to flow with your personality. It has to flow. And you're pitching them every minute you're in their house. Be the problem solver. Just like when I worked in hotels, man, in resorts, it was heads in beds. That's the business, right? People come in, they sleep, they pay you, they go. But there's so much more nuance in that, because you have to have them have a problem-free experience when they check in. The rooms have to smell good. The filters need to be clean. The grout, the caulking, everything has to work. Everything has to work like they're the first ones using it. So when I started this handyman business, I took what I learned at the 5-star hotels and the resorts, and I can't make these the homes, if they're low income, middle income, luxury homes, any better. I'm not a renovation guy, but what I can do is make the experience better, what they're getting from the trades guys. Like, handyman work in my market's not that hard. Having a license and being insured is a big step. Not being drunk is a huge one. Showing up and communicating with the customers, this is not hard. You can learn how to fix things, but a handyman, all the handymen that advertise themselves as a handyman here, they're either remodelers or they're haulers, like they do junk hauling. For me, I have a lot of service-based skills. So I have experience working on mechanical equipment, cooling towers, chillers, boilers, HVAC and all that. I'm very unique because of my skill set, and I lean into that. I don't sell myself as I can fix everything in your house. The things that I'm fastest, most efficient, make me the most profit for the time I'm here, that's what I advertise. Just so happens I can fix this too while I'm here, because it may not be profitable for me to come out to your house just to change a light bulb, right? What I charge is not gonna be worth it to you. But if you need me to change out a garbage disposal, a dishwasher, get your home ready for a rental, Oh, then it's very efficient for me to come here and not just take care of 3 tasks, but I can pretty much knock out everything you need. You need a new baseboard, you need it painted, you need plumbing work done, you need electrical work done. Well, in California, you need minor plumbing, minor electrical. Don't sue me, bro. All right, guys, so I try to keep it short and sweet. I'm gonna cut it up to basically these 2 things. When you're starting off your handyman business, you're going to someone's house through Thumbtack, Nextdoor, Facebook. You found someone that's willing to give you the chance because you don't have the social proof out there. You don't have reviews on your Google business profile. You don't have your social media really out there with likes, comments, or months and weeks of content where they can kind of get to know you and range the experience they're gonna get. So when you walk through that door, it's simple. You're there for a garbage disposal repair. You're there for a faucet replacement, a commode fill valve. When you're in there, from the door to the job's completed, is an opportunity to build rapport with that customer. Ask them, anything else I can take care of you? Pitch your skill sets and things you can take on the site when you're already there. That's when you'll build a great customer relationship, and also you become more profitable because you're not running to the hardware store. When you're starting off, when you're first starting off your business, making the most of the time you're on site is huge. If you can't upsell them in the house, ask them about the neighborhood. If you have time before your next job, just say, hey, I have some time, like I told you, before my next job. Kind of weird question. Do you know any neighbors that are interested or in need of a handyman? Or, because I was just really thinking about knocking on some of the doors in the neighborhood, introducing myself before the next job, because you would really help me out because I'm trying to build the business. And at this point, you don't really have to sell yourself. You know, the customer knows you're a genuine guy trying to build a business and make a better life for himself. And you take care of people for a fair price, you're reasonable, and you're someone they can rely on. They'll be happy to, if they know somebody, they'll be happy to refer you. That is just 2 simple ways when you're starting off your business, how you can upsell. It seems common sense, but hopefully I wasn't too long-winded. I wanted to give some practical examples on how you guys can really build. It's not, it's not lead, not $40 lead this part of town, $40 lead to this other part of town. There's some craftsmanship, not just in the work you're doing, but in the relationships you're building, and really scanning the house when you walk through. When you walk through that house, look for light bulbs out, caulking, grout, things that catch your eye that you know as a maintenance guy or a homeowner you wouldn't like. A lot of times they see it gradually get bad over time. If you point it out, hey, I noticed your caulking around the sinks a little messed up. You want me to try to clean it, or even better yet, remove it and put fresh caulking on there? I actually can do it at a better price because I'm already out. Would you like me to quote you on that? Little things like that, and like door hinges on cabinets. You guys are good enough to look around and know things you can fix. Smoke detectors, CO2s. Hey, those smoke detectors look a little old. You want me to pull it off and see if they're expired? Yes, I want my house to be safe. Please pull off the smoke detectors and let me know. These are just little examples. There's a lot of them. I hope I put an end, I hope I explained it in a way where you didn't have to sit through all these videos. I hope this gave you a little nugget on how to think about it. Simply, something that you can implement today is just when you go out, upsell on what you're good and efficient at when you first start off, and introduce yourself to people around there. It's just not one door you made a relationship. It's hopefully in a whole street and a community you can make a relationship. Boy Bootstrap's not new to the handyman business. I've been doing this a minute, but I am new to this YouTube game. So let me know what you like, what you want to see more of. Throw me a like, a comment, a subscription. Your boy trying to build something here. And I appreciate every view. I appreciate every comment. I always try to get back to you guys right away. I really enjoy doing this. And like always, man, like I say, what we do in this life's a tryout, so give it your all before you sign out.